Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hi everyone. I, Shobehah Abdul Karim, will be covering on the research paper entitled Contrastive Analysis on French and Malay Language Preposition. So this is the content of this paper, the introduction. First of all, let me give a brief introduction about French language in Malaysia. Do you know that learning of French as a foreign language is fast picking up pace in Malaysia, and the numbers of Malaysians learning French has tripled over the last decade. It is estimated roughly about 15,000 students learning French in school, secondary school, and 5,000 students learning French in 30 Malaysian university. Right, this is the research location, which is University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia France Institute, located in Bandar Baru Bangi, previously known as Malaysia France Institute, incorporated in 1995. Right, here the French language is a compulsory subject for all the UniKL MFI students. There are two levels of French taught in UniKL, which is a French 1 and French 2 with 3 CLO. Okay, the focus of my study will be related on CLO number 1. I'll be focusing on written production, focus on writing using basic French phrases. Based on the previous error analysis study on the same research instrument, the researcher found out that there are still errors done by students in writing French simple sentences, especially on the prepositional word in or at in French used after the verb habiter. Right, this prepositional error give ideas for the researcher to conduct a comparative study between French and Malay language. Right, the research question, what are the similarities and differences between the Malay language preposition of place D with the French preposition of place with verb habiter? Right, the objective of this study is to identify the similarity and the differences for the French preceding preposition of place for D with Malay language in writing simple French sentences. Literature review, these are the samples. From this literature review too, researcher had the idea to conduct a contrastive analysis study and would then choose the approach by Mayada Zaki 2015 in conducting the comparative study. In line with this literature review also provide an impact to researcher conducting comparative study using or based on Lado theory of contrastive analysis 1957, which is still relevant until today, especially to overcome problem in foreign language learning, as mentioned by Muhammad Hamad Al-Karish 2016. Methodology. These are the framework of this research. The theory chosen is contrastive analysis by Robert Lado 1957. The research instrument is essay writing from section A, question number 11, French 1 test, research sample 50 unique LMFI French 1 student, and other research methodology is questionnaire and also observation. Right. This contrastive analysis study was conducted in the real situation context in the classroom, during French class, and also during French tests. Result and discussion. Based on the previous study on error analysis research finding, there are 110 French grammatical error in the descriptive writing of 50 respondents. These errors were 50% preposition, 28% verb, 90% nouns, and 3% adjective. The research result showed the error percentage for preposition was the highest, which is 50%, which also equated to 55 errors in choosing preposition made by the respondent in writing French. They are classified as follow. First, error in selection of preposition for place plus verb habiter. Right. For sentence number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright. The sentences are wrong because the respondent wrongly wrongly choose the preposition before the country and also before the city. For sentence number 1, 2, 3, and 4, the answer should be il habite en Italie. Number 2, elle habite au Canada. Number 3, il habite en Italie. And number 4, elle habite au Canada. Because these 4 sentences regarding the country. And then for the sentence number 5 and 6, il habite en Naples, il habite dans Naples. Though the 2 prepositions are wrong, the actual answer should be preposition a with accent grave to say in or at for the before the cities. So the answer will be il habite à Naples. Number 6, il habite à Naples too. Error number 2 is error in introduction of preposition of place. In these sentences 7, 8, 9, and 10, the respondent did not put any preposition before the city and also before the country. Meanwhile, for error number 3 is error in leaving out the accent. In French, it is wrong to put to answer with preposition a without accent grave. Here, the a here means verb avoir conjugated with subject singular, a third person singular. Same case for number 12. It is verb avoir conjugate with third person singular. So the correct answer for 11 and 12 will be il habite Toronto au Canada. A with accent grave, and 12 il habite à Naples en Italie. A with accent grave too. And error number 4 is error in addition. For number 13, there are 2 prepositions chosen by the student. Il habite en Naples, Italy. Okay. The 2 prepositions are wrong. For number 13, the answer should be il habite à Naples en Italy because Naples is a city. Meanwhile, number 14, il habite en ville Naples en pays Italie. So here there is a combination of preposition plus noun for before Naples and with plus pays before Italy. So for for the first one, en ville, the 2 nouns and preposition is wrong. So the correct answer should be il habite à Naples. Meanwhile, for Italy, the preposition is correct if we remove pays before Italy. So the sentence will be il habite à Naples en Italie. So this is how the French preposition should be. Before the noun femina, we put on. Before the noun masculine, we put o. Before the noun plural, we put aux. And before the cities, we put a with accent grave to say à Paris, à Lisbonne, à Cairo, et à New York. Right. Based on the answer given by the student in the research, in the questionnaire, majority of the student, which is 39%, agree that the French preposition place is not the same as Malay language. preposition. Meanwhile, 28% disagree and 33% still not sure whether the preposition is the same or not the same between Malay language and also French language. The respondent performed errors because there are various differences of French preposition differentiated by a few grammar rules, example gender, numbers, country, city, village, island, spelling, and a few exceptional rules. This was the main reason why respondent made errors in the combination of French preposition with verb habiter. Conclusion. As a whole, the various form of French preposition of place for D, namely on, o, or are, was the main reason why respondent made errors in choosing French preposition. The differences of the Malay language preposition D to French preposition are on, o, or O. This preposition meant for the country or continent and are differentiated by gender, numbers, and spelling. There is one similarity of French preposition of place when compared to the Malay language, which is the preposition are. The meaning is D in Malay language, and it is for the city, town, villages, and island, and not determined by gender or number. The finding of this contrastive analysis research showed that respondents need to understand the concept of French gender and number if they intend to master the French language. The similar attribute to the French preposition or Malay language preposition help respondents to build sentences, while the differences cause confusion in choosing the correct preposition among the students who learn French as a foreign language. Mariati Haji Muhammad Noor, AL, 2015, in their research also mentioned that similarity helped the student in learning French, while the differences confuse them when choosing the correct preposition. We hope that this finding of the comparative analysis on preposition of place on, o, or are in French and D in Malay language may benefit the teaching staff as well as students learning French as a foreign language in Malaysia, and not forgotten the university too. These are the references. That's all from me. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.